Hello E39 Source, Ryan Schultz here. I've got the 2000 M5 back in Ohio, but again today here in lovely San Diego, California, where I'd like to give you guys the opportunity to get a better look here at my father's 2006 BMW E60 M5. This vehicle is for sale, so we're going to be doing a walk around, talking about what's been done, the condition, and we'll get to the price and some more features later on here in the video. But I think this is a great example, and it's looking for a new home here. His reason for selling this car is just the fact that there's a newer one in the garage with a couple less miles, and that's going to be the daily here for the next several years, hopefully. So my father purchased this car from BMW of San Diego in 2012, so 5 years ago, with 18,300 miles, I believe. Currently has 79,000, almost 79,000 miles in those 5 years. It's always been garaged. It's never been in an accident. It has never seen any weather outside of the 5 rainy days a year that happen here in San Diego. So as I mentioned, this vehicle is a 2006. It's actually a fairly early 2006 with the build date of September 2005 per the VIN sticker in here in the door. We can get a look at that if anybody wants to run a Carfax or anything. We will be up front with the VIN. We have run a Carfax on this car. It's very clean. There's no accidents, nothing on there that would be alarming. So there's that. We'll continue with the walk around here of the exterior as I wait on the window sticker to be located from inside the house. So it is Silverstone 2 metallic. The paint's in very good condition on this car. There's been no paint work minus the front and the rear bumper. It has the stock wheels. These are BMW style 161s. They are 19-inch. The rear ones are wide. The staggered set, of course, being an M5. I believe they're 10.5 in the back and maybe 10 in the front. Don't quote me on that. I will get some tire sizes as we get a little closer here shortly. Very few aftermarket things going on this car. The biggest one would be a muffler delete with some very nice, I believe they're 3 1/4 or 3.5 inch tips on the rear in chrome. They look fantastic, and this car sounds pretty cool. This is a 5-liter V10, as most of you probably know. The back, we've got PDC, park distance control sensors. All of them work fine, as you would expect. M5 badge and rear spoiler are in place. We can see the other aftermarket thing on this car is a Sirius XM solution that we'll see more of inside the car, but that is the antenna right there on the trunk lid. That would be movable if you didn't like it there. Come over here. We can actually get a look down the side of the car and see that it is super clean. I have never found a ding or a dent or anything like that in this vehicle. Coming along over here, things are still super nice and clean. This is a Pilkington windshield. It has been replaced just due to some road rash and some chips that got in it here on the California highways. And back to the front, parking sensors, stock grills, obviously the bi-xenon headlights and BMW halo rings in the lenses per all E60s. Another aftermarket thing in this car would be the halo bulbs. They are bright white, 6,000 Kelvin. I believe they're a 10-watt bulb. Not super bright, not like a new F10 or an F30, but brighter than the stock dim yellow ones that came in this car 11 years ago. I've got the window sticker here, so we're going to go inside in a moment. We'll take a look in there and go through the options on the sticker. But while we're still outside here, we'll take a look at the tires. These are the only tire to put on this car. These are Michelin Pilot Super Sports. A 285 rear width, or 285/35 ZR19 104Y. These have been on there for a little over a year. They've got probably half tread left and seem to be wearing fairly evenly. These wheels are not perfect, but they are in very good shape considering the age and miles. These are the original rotors. There's not too much of a lip on them, and they are drilled from factory, and they are floating from factory. All of the brake pads all the way around have been replaced with Hawk HPS pads. That's kind of a ceramic pad, and they dust a hell of a lot less than the stock BMW pads. And provide the same or better stopping power, and they have a lot of material, a lot of lining left on there. Front rotors as well, original, very minor lip, no pulsation or anything on that in the pedal at any speed. Same pads up here, Michelin Pilot Super Sport 255/40 ZR19 100Y, and these tires have about 100 miles on them. These are brand new tires, so that's good news. So here's the original window sticker. We can see some of the options and pricing details when new. Silverstone metallic, the black merino or merino leather, has the side impact airbags. Everything else was included. all the way down. There was a gas guzzler tax and a destination charge, and the MSRP there was $85,360 in 2006. So you can see VIN matching, all of that. We do have full service history in this car as well, which is fantastic. It's had everything that it's needed. Oil changes per recommendation from the dealership. Used Castrol TWS 10W60 full synthetic and a filter every time. It has had spark plugs in the last year. The throttle body actuators have been done in the last 2 years, and nothing else calls for attention. We have replaced this bottom piece of steering wheel trim. Usually these get very worn right here and right here. That has been taken care of. This vehicle is not affected by the Takata recall. It is the sequential manual gearbox, being a 2006. That was the only option, and there's been no issues with that whatsoever. The parking brake holds the car very well. No problems there. All of these buttons are functional. This trim's in fantastic shape. The leather's in fantastic shape. We've got heated seats, the tire pressure monitoring service there, parking sensor button, and the other heated seat button. Navigation computer and single disc CD is in here. There's a 6-disc CD changer in the glove box. So this is the aftermarket Sirius unit right here. If I can push the key in here and get in an accessory mode, we'll see that that works very well. It has the auxiliary right here, so you could plug in your phone or a Bluetooth adapter or any of that to achieve Sirius XM. If you wanted to delete this and remove it, you could certainly do that, and you would have no indication that it was ever on here before. So that's nice. We'll be leaving that in the car unless somebody decides that they don't want it. There are no check engine lights or any warning lights on the dash when the engine is running. Obviously in this mode it illuminates a few things. We can see the mileage right there at 78,957. It will continue to rise oh so slowly. We're going to try to keep it here very close to 79,000. That's not going to be daily driven. We'll just get a look around the interior right now. Every single feature and function in this car is working as designed. I believe it's running the latest version of iDrive for this computer. This is the CIC or CCC computer, I don't remember which is which, updated as much as possible, and it has a 2015 navigation DVD in there, I am fairly certain. Up here, you can see the Alcantara headliner. Your home link is located on the mirror. There's 2 microphones, sunroof works perfectly, all the windows work. The dome light, all of that's there. Rear center console has some lighting, and the back seats are very seldom used and look very nice. Has the M5 floor mats. Within the last 3 or 4 years, I think those have been put in. Door sills are nice. This car gets detailed pretty much every week, maybe even sometimes twice a week. And by detailed I mean spray wax, all Zano products on this car. It's waxed once a year with their paste waxes and then spray waxed weekly. Glass is cleaned weekly, the wheels, including the barrels, are cleaned weekly. This car is pretty much always clean. I think that's where I get things from on my end with my Silverstone 2000 M5. And when we clean things, we clean the door jambs, we open the trunk and clean in there. We clean under the hood, we clean the door panels. In the rear right corner, take a look in the trunk and find that it is quite clean. There's barely anything that's ever been transported back here. It's a great sized trunk for a car like this. A 500 horsepower V10 that has a trunk you could still put 2 or 3 bodies in if you wanted to. Over there it tells you how to put 4 golf bags. You've got a little mesh cubby over there, another one here, a storage pocket down there. If you remove these little doors, that's where you would find your fuses. Up here's the toolkit. Everything that this car came with is still in there, and I don't believe any of it has ever been used. We've got the 2 open-ended wrenches. We've got the first aid kit that's never been opened. We've got the tow hook and the reversible Phillips and flathead screwdriver, as well as the schematic for the fuses right there. Underneath the carpeting back here you will find the battery. This is the black BMW battery, which is the newer one that lasts a lot longer. This one was put in right before he purchased the car. This is a June of 2012 battery, and there's been no signs that it needs to be replaced yet. Over there is the tire compressor. The tire bomb or the fix-a-flat was never in this vehicle, and we never added it. Under the hood is that 5-liter S85 V10. And this engine has given him very few troubles. Really the only issue was that the throttle body actuators needed to be replaced. Both of those have been done. It got a thermostat and some sensors at that same time. We've done the spark plugs with the OE. I believe we used the Bosch plugs, either the Bosch or the NGK, whatever one it called for, we put in there. Otherwise, under here there are K&N washable air filters in each box, and that's about all that's gone on under the hood of this car. In full disclosure, I will show you the negatives with this car. There are a few. This is an 11-year-old vehicle that has been daily driven for the past 5 years and has nearly 80,000 miles on it. So it is not perfect, and it is not a show car. In the headlights, the front bumper, and a tiny bit in the front grills, you can see some road rash up here. California highways move at a pretty high rate of speed. There's a lot of lanes, there's a lot of cars, and it shows a little bit. So this bumper was removed and refinished in the original paint color probably 2 or 3 years ago, at which point it was perfect. Now there's a couple handfuls of stone chips in here. Nothing too big. It could certainly be refinished again, but it is not perfect. This vehicle has also been tapped in a parking lot once or twice. No serious damage, just a little scuff right there on that corner. The hood, yeah, just a couple stone chips in the front. It's 80,000 miles. The hood's never been repainted. That's pretty good. The headlights do show very minor amount of oxidation there in that top lip, probably from sun damage. That could be polished out, replace the lens, or facelift the headlights. That would be up to a future owner. The wheels, as I mentioned before, are not perfect. They've had a couple sets of tires put on and off of them before. They've never outright been curbed before. They're in very nice shape, but they are not brand new. There's no dings on this side either. Rocker panels are in great shape. Vents are good, mirrors are good. The front glass does not have any tint installed. The rear glass does. Previous owner didn't. I cannot tell you what product it is or what percentage it is. It's not too dark, and it would be legal here in California. The rear window is very dark. You cannot see through it to the headliner. It has saved the interior. The leather in this car feels good. The Alcantara rear headliner doesn't show any fade, so that's nice. Another negative up here would be the rubber seal around the rear window. As you can see, it's got some cracks in it. That's the original seal. It's probably been sun damaged. That seal does not affect water from getting inside. This is not really a watertight seal as much as just trying to keep debris out of there. This is glued to the actual chassis, so it's not going to allow it to leak. But this could be replaced without removing the rear glass, and the part's not very expensive. So that could be something up to the future owner. Tail lights are fantastic. The rear bumper was just removed in January after he was tapped in a parking lot. It was refinished, it was put back on, and a week later he was tapped in a parking lot again. So that was very unfortunate. You can see a couple imperfections there in the center. We have tried to put some touch-up paint on there, and that never works. So we were upset with that, but no real important damage, purely cosmetic. We can get a look at the really nice chrome exhaust tips here and see that the muffler delete was done by Dual Tone here in San Diego, and it was done quite well. It's all welded using a 3.5-3-inch pipe. It's very well done. Getting a look underneath this car, there is no rust anywhere. It was up in the air about a week ago getting those new front tires on, and it's fantastic. The underneath of this car looks great. Every single bushing, there's no cracks in it. It has not had suspension work, and it does not need suspension work. Everything under there is super tight. It was just aligned. It was just balanced. The tires were just balanced. So it really does not need anything in that department. And we will wrap things up with a little startup here. If you guys want to take a listen to the motor and or the exhaust, we can certainly do that now. The key, I'll show you the key. It's a normal BMW key like this with your unlock, lock, trunk lid, and panic button there. We do have both master keys with this car. Put that in, neutralize the SMG, press to start. And we'll see if I put my seatbelt on and take the parking brake off, everything goes away. The little exclamation mark there is just an indicator that it is below the 1/4 mark for the fuel right now. I'm going to take the seatbelt back off and put the brake back on so I can walk around the vehicle with it on. It is mostly warm right now. I'm not going to rev it up or anything crazy, just because with a muffler delete it is fairly loud and I do not want to bother the neighbors too much. Here's what the navigation screen looks like. This is all fully functional. It is not the fastest system. Please bear in mind that it is over 10 years old. We'll get a listen up front first. These things are not as loud as the S62 in terms of rattle. Just a taste of that 5-liter V10. Included in the sale of this car would be everything that it came with. I think we do have a fresh set of rear floor mats that would be included. Those are the OEM BMW ones. We just never replaced the rear ones because they didn't need it. So you'd get those, you'd get both keys, window sticker, full service history in paper form and in a XLSX spreadsheet. I have everything in there. It'll tell you exactly how long it's been since the pads went in, since the spark plugs were done, every oil change, everything we've ever done is recorded in there with date, part number, mileage, quantity, who did it, if it was done by us here at the house or a shop here local in the San Diego area. So this is really a complete package car. And I suppose the last thing here to mention would be some numbers, and we're currently asking $22,999 for this vehicle. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to email me, ryan@e39source.com. Leave a comment in this description below. Send me a personal message, whatever you fancy. And I hope to hear from some of you guys soon. This is a great car, just looking for a fresh home. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in a future video. Bye-bye.